action. Thanks for joining us today.
We're going to draw a pony today.
Today we're going to draw a pony. Let's get started. Try and put her in the middle of the page here. And we're going to start with an oval. In the middle of your page, kind of going off to the left, just like so. Okay? Just like so. And mine's kind of sloppy. I'm going real loose with it. And then what we're going to do is the head's going to be up here. So I'm going to kind of bring an oblong sort of egg-like shape down for the neck, up here where the head is going to connect.
That's like an egg.
Yeah, it's like a tall egg.
An egg.
Okay, the head is going to be up here on top of that. And for now, we're just going to throw in a circle. And coming off the circle, kind of like a rectangle, that's going to be her nose, her mouth,
Square.
like a square, rectangle-ish shape, coming off like that.
A long square.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also going to figure out where the ears are going to go. The ears are going to be like so. Almost looks like a dog right now, doesn't it?
A Minecraft dog.
Yep.
It's all squares.
Okay, and then down here I'm going to start working on where we're going to have these legs. So I'm going to have one of my legs kind of even with the other side popping out like so. Now it's going to kind of start skinnier here, and I'm going to expand out as I get to the bottom where the hooves are. And then I'm going to kind of round the bottom. And then over here, about where the edge of the neck is, I'm going to do the start of another leg.
Leg is so cute.
And it's going to be kind of close. Yet we're kind of looking at her this way here, kind of almost a little bit of a straight on kind of 3/4 view. And then that's going to be the other leg right there, just like that. And then the back leg here on this side, I'm going to do kind of like an oval shape. That's kind of like where the thigh is, coming down to the knee here. And where that is, I'm going to kind of bounce over to the left, and I'm going to shoot down with a similar shape that I did there. I'm going to round that off, and that's going to be the back leg. Now this other leg would be somewhere in here. So it's kind of hidden by the front leg here. So we're just going to show a little bit of it right there poking out. That's about all of that leg you're going to be able to see.
Not too long to do that.
It's okay. Now's the time to fix it. If you don't like the way something's looking so far, now is a good time to fix it, because this is the early stages of the drawing. That's why we start with pencil. We can always erase anything we don't like. At this point, that's the whole purpose of this. It's kind of like building a house, right? You frame it in, and then we start adding the details as we go. So right now we're just putting our rough frame together and making sure that we like it. Now we're gonna have a big old round eye up here, I know that. And the other one's gonna be kind of on the other side of the face, so it's gonna be kind of cut off. And we're going to be doing a smile coming from here, going over, finishing kind of close to the eye. And then I'm going to bump the cheek up a little bit right there into the eye. How you doing over there?
I'm getting ready, but I have to cut off lots and lots of my body.
You have to cut off lots of your body?
Now look.
Oh, yeah.
It was so long all the way to here.
Oh, yeah. You're going to want to shorten the body up a little bit, huh?
It was so long.
Yep.
It was like a hot dog.
Yeah, it needs to be more of an oval. If you got a hot dog,
Not good.
go ahead and start over with an oval. I think you're coming along though. Now I'm gonna figure out kind of where the mane is gonna be going up here, okay? Now I'm gonna do kind of some flowy wild hair, and it's gonna kind of come up to a point. We're gonna have it kind of flowing out here like that, almost like it's blowing in the wind. And then we're gonna go like that, kind of almost like a wave shape, and go back into itself there, the sharp point. And we're gonna do one more of those, even longer, out here, like that. And then I'm just gonna do one small one now, coming back into where the mouth is gonna be.
Look, it's so close to my nose.
Yeah, goes right into the nose. And then the back side of her mane is gonna be longer. It's gonna kind of be hooking around where her jaw is gonna be and kind of coming in like this. So I'm gonna come out here up by the ear, and I'm gonna throw a point in like that. And then I'm gonna round it around like so. I might kind of do a little hook back right there. Okay. Now bounce right back up here by the cheek. It's gonna kind of curl around underneath. I'm gonna do a little point there. Like that. And then I'm gonna do a bigger one. That's gonna be kind of like an S shape, going like that. And then I'm gonna do one more, a little bit longer than both those, down to here, and I'm gonna connect them there. Okay. Now I'm gonna bounce over to the tail. Let's get this tail figured out. The tail is going to connect up here by the top of where I ovaled in that thigh. And it's going to be like an S shape coming off the back. So it's going to go like this, and it's going to come back in towards the body and then hook away. And then it's going to be skinnier at the top and fatter at the bottom, like that. Okay. Okay, now let's get this eye figured out. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking we're gonna do some eyelashes.
Yay!
So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 of them. We're gonna do the same over there on the other side. I'm gonna do a big old iris and the pupil. I'm gonna do a big old pupil in the middle. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about kind of where things are gonna be. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with her ear. I'm gonna go right here. I know it's kind of a pointy ear, and it kind of curves out and goes back towards her jaw there. And then we're gonna do the jaw. Now horses, they have a real defined jaw muscle, so it's gonna be just a curve going back in like that. And then the top of her head is just gonna be a little rounded connection over here to her other eye that's on the other side. And that's almost like, imagine looking at a circle kind of at a skew. So it's gonna be like almost like a quarter of a circle. There's that longer eyelash, a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter. Now if we go over to the other eye, the bottom of her eye is running into her cheek because she's smiling. So we're gonna do the cheek, and it's kind of a like a rounded upside down V shape there. There you go. And for the eye, we're gonna do a kind of a big old, almost like circle, almost up to her ear there. And then we're gonna do the top eyelash, middle eyelash, bottom eyelash, just like that. And now, let's get this iris in here. I'm gonna start almost at the top. It's almost gonna be as big as her eye. Yep. And then I'm gonna do a little shine circle inside. And I'm gonna do a second shine circle right below it. Then I'm gonna do a smaller one on the other side. And then I'm gonna do a big old pupil in between all those right there. And on the other side, let's get those figured out. We're gonna get that in there. Okay. Now here's where we're gonna get this nose figured out. Coming off this other eye, we're gonna come down, and then we're gonna have a nostril right here. It's kind of, I'm just gonna do kind of almost like a little square shape. And I'm gonna come down off of that, straight down. I'm gonna come around here to under the cheek, and that's where the smile is gonna end. So I'm gonna come around like that. It's gonna be a big old smile. And then a little crease right up there where it runs into the cheek. And now, let's get these big old horse teeth figured out. You know how horse teeth are, they're big.
I got a giant tooth.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, just like that. Careful not to lean too far over your drawing so everybody can see. And now we're going to come down with the mouth. Just got an open mouth smile going on. Starting up there in the corner, coming around and ending into the teeth. Looking pretty good so far. And I'm just going to kind of shade in lightly the pupil just so I can kind of see it more clearly. And then I'm going to come over straight across from this nostril to kind of between the eyes, and I'm going to throw another nostril in there. That's our other one. And now let's get this mane dialed in. So I actually like the way it looks, so I'm not even going to really change much. I'm going to just kind of trace over what I got a little darker. And hook it out there like that. Almost looks like flames. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I like the way that looks, so I'm not going to really deviate from what I've already done there. I'm going to go ahead and just, I might throw a little whoop-de-doo in there, come around. You know, sometimes you got to go with what you feel. Sometimes you're going along on this step and something pops into your head that you think is going to look good. Go for it. Hook around.
My guy's hair looks like a bone.
Like a bone? Yeah, like a fish bone. That's cool. You know, and that's the thing. You guys don't have to do exactly what I'm doing here. If you're going along and when you're in this step, if you feel like something else looks good, go for it. Try it out. You're not going to get better if you're afraid to try new things while you're drawing, so go for it. That's kind of how you learn to develop your own style. Now we're going to do the neck, and it's coming right along this line and kind of go back into the body where it connects. So, and I'm going to kind of throw a little, yep, there we go, like that. And this is the shoulder here connecting to the other leg. So I'm going to kind of spice this up a notch. I'm going to go kind of square. I'm going to bounce out with some straight lines and bounce back in. Ooh, hey, there you go. Have fun with it. Throw your own details in there. If you guys want to do a saddle, go for it. Throw a saddle in. One of the things that I was going to do that I realized I forgot was a unicorn horn. That would have been kind of cool. Maybe we should throw one in there.
Yeah.
We're still working in pencil, so we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you kind of how you would do this if you kind of added something in later as an afterthought. So I know the unicorn horn is going to be kind of in the middle of her eyes. So I'm going to draw a little kind of circle there. And I'm going to rough in lightly right now where that would go. Make sure that it looks right. That looks pretty good. So since I'm satisfied with the shape and placement there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in. I'm going to add some little notches because it's going to be kind of a, we're going to kind of do some swirly-do marks there. I'm sure that's what they're called, swirly-doos. Okay, now since that little afterthought's done, we're going to bounce back down to the leg. I'm going to follow my shape here that I already have. Kind of curve down to the end, curve back around, start up here. And you know what, right here, I think it'll look cool if I come in just a bit and then go down. It kind of gives that hoof shape. And the same thing, now I'm going to bounce over here. I'm going to go straight over from here, and I'm going to start this other leg. So I'm going to do a hook. I'm going to bring it in, bounce down for the hoof. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to hook out. I'm going to curve around and reconnect. Now let's get this shoulder in. And that kind of bounces back into the body. I'm going to connect there. This other shoulder goes up here, comes down, connects to the leg. Again, I'm doing some kind of squared off shapes. That's kind of a style thing. You could definitely have just rounded those off. Try it out. Try different things and see what feels right for you.
I did it like that.
There you go. Yep, exactly. And now I'm going to go bounce up here to kind of the middle of the mane is where that back comes out. And then again, I'm squaring some stuff off. That's the way I like to do it. Come back down to the knee, and then this is where the rest of the foot starts. I'm going to do the same thing in the back. I'm going to kind of hook in and bounce down. Now our knee is right there. I'm going to curve back out like that. Now since we're kind of looking at her like almost a 3/4 straight on, the belly is actually going to hook into here and come up and interrupt the leg there. So I'm going to bounce up like that. Okay. Now let's get this back leg in there. It's just barely showing. Like that. All right. And now for this tail. It's coming around. Little hair detail there. I'm going to keep following this line. And I'm going to hook out with another hair detail. And I'm going to follow this path on down. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually start back in here. I'm going to do another one coming out like that. And then we're going to come back in here like so. Now, where the hair starts, I'm going to kind of just throw some curved lines like that.
I did mine.
Did you already do those? Okay, I like to do mine, just kind of short ones up here. Some people like to follow it down. I mean, you can definitely do that like this.
I do it really well.
You do, oh, yep,
That.
yep. You could definitely do it that way. And I'm going to do the same thing up here, coming from her ear. They kind of start from a point and go out. So, like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here at the other corner of her ear. I'm going to kind of imagine the flow of the hair when you're making these lines. Like so. I'm gonna throw some little horseshoes in here, like that. Just because I think it looks cool.
I know why it's called horseshoes, because they're shoes for horses.
Yeah, that's right. I wish I knew some interesting facts I could share about when they started putting horseshoes on horses, but I don't. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty much done with my pencil. I like the way this looks, and I'm ready to move on to ink. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our Sharpie or our bold marker, whatever you have.
Sharpie.
Perfect. And now I'm gonna just go around. I'm gonna trace the outside of my drawing with this bold marker. So I'm just gonna go around the whole thing like that, around the outside edge. Now, I'm gonna grab my fine tip marker. Yep, you got a Sharpie pen, whatever you got that's a little bit finer. I mean, this is the way I like to do it. You could definitely use lighter pressure and just keep using a Sharpie. I just like the way it looks. I feel like the details are a little easier to see and a little easier to do with a fine tip. So I'm just gonna go through, I'm gonna be tracing what I've done with my pencil at this point using my fine tip. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, now that I've gone around and traced the detail with ink, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my eraser. I'm gonna get rid of all the construction lines and pencil that we used to get our drawing to this point so far. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, now that I've erased my pencil and I can see things a little more clearly, I'm gonna start adding some hatch marks, they're called, to indicate where there are shadows on our pony here. And I'm just gonna kind of envision the light coming in like this from up above and kind of coming from the side. And so it's gonna cast shadows along the bottom and back here and under the jaw. So I'm gonna do that now, and you guys can kind of see how I do this. I just do a bunch of parallel lines where I see that. So for example, under the jaw here, I'm just gonna go like that, right? And then same thing under this spot where there's gonna be a shadow from her mane there. I'm gonna do it between here. Oh, there for the left there. That's it. I could fiddle with this thing all day. Well, we're gonna call it. I like it. I think this looks good. Let's go ahead and sign. Don't forget to sign your drawing. That's the most important part. Make sure you date it so you can look back and see how you've progressed over time. Oh, you're adding some little details. You reminded me. I definitely want to get some butterflies in here, so I'm going to do that. Some little tiny butterflies flying around her. Like that. We'll do one down here too. What the heck? And some little whoop-de-doos coming off them like they're flying around. Just because it feels right. Okay. And that is it. Take four. Take four. Well, that does it, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed drawing this pony with us today. If you did, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're going to be doing a new lesson every week. And that does it. We're looking forward to the next one. See you later, everybody.